Impact of COVID-19 on jewelry industry. It's a known fact that sellers all over the world are some among the worst hit during the COVID-19 pandemic. The jewelry industry has been a traditionally strong-standing industry, with businesses staying unaffected for a good part of the last century. However, here we are now, in the midst of a global pandemic that brought with it unprecedented circumstances. The performance of the jewelry industry started off optimistically at the beginning of the year, but sales began to drastically drop as months passed by. Of course, it's safe to say that nobody expected this to hit them. So here is a look into the revival strategy for one of the most lucrative industries in the country. Let's begin. COVID-19 impact on jewelry sales. Following the coronavirus outbreak, the gems and jewelry sector in the country has come to a standstill, with retailers managing to do only 20 to 25% business due to fewer footfalls amid fear of the virus's spread, according to an industry body. As per All India Gem and Jewelry Domestic Council, there have been virtually no footfalls in jewelry stores, and retailers are doing only 20 to 25% business across the country. Also, demand in the world's second biggest gold consumer, India, has already tumbled, slammed by record-high domestic prices and as the economy heads for the slowest pace of growth in 11 years. Total purchases are estimated to plummet 30% in 2020 from the 690 tons last year. That would make it the smallest annual purchase since the 477 tons bought in 1995, according to Bloomberg. This can be largely accounted for by the nationwide lockdown in effect since March 2020 and the prohibition of social gatherings being held in any case. The reason behind the high impact. The major reason why the gems and jewels industry has been among the worst impacted is due to the shutdown of physical retail stores all over the country. However, over the last few weeks, there has been a surge in hope after the government has announced a list of relaxations. From the removal of the ban on transportation of non-essential items and the reopening of all non-essential stores, outside malls and shopping complexes, in districts that are showing a reduction in positive cases, small business owners in the jewelry industry can expect a slight increase in sales after the terrible slump. The reason for the high impact can also be attributed to the large number of traditional businesses that have been offline for their entire life cycle. This can especially be said for businesses in Tier 3 and 4 cities in India, where retail sellers had no reason to take their business online. However, the COVID-19 situation has brought to light the urgency of digitization and how businesses will suffer due to the lack of it. we can expect sales innovation to take an interesting turn in order to survive during these difficult times. After all, desperate times call for desperate decisions. Online jewelry sellers have also come up with the following ways in order to stay afloat during these times of high demand. Video calling feature to enable face-to-face interaction with the salesperson. Live-assisted chats on the website. Remote war room to resolve customer queries. Transparent payment process. Contactless delivery. Key takeaways. Engage with your customers through social media channels during the lockdown to build desire and stay relevant. Utilize time to reinvent, plan business strategies and prepare to start early. Capitalize on the disposable income amongst consumers to create demand for the category post-pandemic. Jewelry industry should adopt latest technology like 3D printing and electroforming casting and put thrust on innovation. Take care of customers' safety and step up the sanitization measures in your showroom. Don't be obsessed about offering breakups to your customers as it takes away margins from business. Instead, continue to build on innovation and e-commerce. Ideas for your business revival during this time. Building your social media presence. This is the perfect time to build your business's social profile from scratch. This can be a great chance to reintroduce your branding language. Empathy. Brands all over the world have come together to display a great deal of courage and empathy during these testing times. Keep the spokes of hope running by doing your bit for society. Generously donate to charities to feed the hungry during this time. Collaboration. The pandemic is also bringing together like-minded people whose businesses are going through similar situations. Make use of this opportunity to collaborate with other brands on ideas that will drive traction in the future. Online events. The COVID-19 pandemic has also brought in massive traction to the online events industry. As we are approaching a brief, yet severe contactless future, this may be your best shot at organizing events and connecting with potential customers and partners. GJEPC, WTO estimates world trade will decline by 13 to 32% in 2020 due to COVID-19. The World Trade Organization had predicted that world merchandise trade is likely to decline by between 13 to 32% in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, according to a summary of the global body's projections prepared by the Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council. The summary is part of the Council's ongoing drive to keep member exporters informed about global economic trends and plan their businesses accordingly. According to the GJEPC document, WTO has based its projections for 2020 on two varied scenarios, one that it describes as relatively optimistic, and the other as more pessimistic. In the first optimistic scenario, the organization envisages a sharp drop in trade followed by a recovery starting in the second half of 2020, one that will be strong enough to bring trade close to its pre-pandemic trend. There is one final rider put forward by the WTO. The extent of uncertainty is very high, and it is well within the realm of possibilities that for both 2020 and 2021 the outcomes could be above or below what has been presented.